Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. We're back. Barcelona, Paris Saint Germain set to face each other. And who better to have here than your boy, Barca boy? Welcome, Barca boy.
It's good to be back, man. I feel like we've had a summer. I've had a summer of relaxation. You've had a busy summer, and now last
Yeah.
season feels like it's been like a year ago. It's only been a few months ago, and the clash that we both wanted last season, they of course had to rig it and do it now. Maybe
Yeah,
not
they
rig
had.
it, but they had some little motivation for sure.
No, it was definitely rigged. You remember when we PSG were supposed to face United,
Hmm.
and then they understood. All right, this is too much rigged. We got to do it again because they
It's
didn't
because
even explain why they restarted it.
hmm It's because everyone wants this game, and it's easy to rig it. Because I was thinking about this when I saw your draw. Because now you've had two back-to-back games where you had the hardest draw. And I don't know if you know
Yeah,
why you have the hardest draw. Because all the other teams can't really face each other because they're in the same country.
true.
So I think, are gonna get stitched up with this new computer format. I think every year you're gonna have a hard draw because everyone else can't face each other, but you can face everyone since you're like one of two French league teams.
Exactly.
So that's why you get stitched up quite a bit, and it's gonna be easier to make those matches. Now that we don't see them take out the ball and stuff, everything is fair game. That's why Liverpool are facing Madrid again because that was a good game last season.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hide, to be honest, but we'll take it.
Uh,
I don't mind it in the group stages. Little teaser.
Going like from last season to this season, do you feel how much stronger do you think the Barca squad has become? Like that can include, for example, Yamal's third season and so on. Do you think you're better, weaker? Just squad players. Like you've only played 3 games this season, not that too much to take away from.
Honestly, I think we're a little bit worse. I think what we've seen from preseason, and the other games that we played, the first 3 games, has not been that encouraging. Again, we've had a difficult start playing all the games away from home, but there is a bit of, I wouldn't say concern, but there is like an eyebrow lifted, like what's going on here, conceding so many big chances. Just on paper, we only conceded 3 goals in 3 games, which isn't too bad. One per game is okay,
Yeah,
especially with only playing 3 games. But we're conceding so many chances. Like against Vallecano, Joel Garcia came big. Against Levante, they missed a lot of their chances. They weren't really on target.
yeah,
Even though they scored two. Oh, sorry, yeah, they because they only scored two against Mallorca. They had big chances as well that they put wide. Some of them were saved by Joel Garcia. So we are conceding a lot at the back. And that is a big concern because we talked about this a lot when we were doing our show last season about the defense being an issue. And Flick was saying a lot at from February until the end of the season, the defense was all over the place. I think our defense was quite solid from the beginning until maybe after the Super Cup final against Madrid. And Flick was saying that, oh, there's so many games, we don't have time to, make proper tweaks. We're going to focus on that a lot during preseason. Preseason has come, and I'm seeing the same, if not worse. And we now have a fully fit Arujo who is back. Yes, we've lost Inigo. I don't think Inigo, maybe in the locker room, he's a big miss. I don't think on the pitch he should be that big of a miss. I was expecting him to be, a step down this season. I think maybe his having a left-footed center back at the left center back position does help a lot in build-up play, and we're seeing that causing an effect. But I don't think losing Inigo should have that much of a drop off. In terms of us, playing a high line and things like that, the high line is still being effective. The team will beat us and they get flagged offside. But even taking away from that front, we are conceding a lot of chances too. I think Real kind of are a good side. Lava and Mallorca were a good side, but they had the red cards. But we're conceding so many chances against mid to okay La Liga teams. So I'm worried that when we have a big game coming up, how are we going to deal? Especially this game. This game is under a month away between us and Paris Saint Germain. A clash that the world of football we're looking forward to last season. The two best teams in the world from last season facing off now very early on, and I'm a bit worried, especially not only to know where we're actually going to play this game, but also on how the team's going to be going to this game as well. We've suffered a few injuries during the international break, so I think my confidence and my belief in this team is a step down right now from what it was last season. Last season, I would have faced you head on. I would have believed, 200%. But now I'm thinking we're having a shaky start. We've had some injuries. There is, an eyebrow lifted.
you mentioned that with like the chances you're conceded. I saw that stat like you've conceded 12 big chances against you, the most in La Liga this season.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the reason for that? Is it just maybe, the players came in, I don't know, extra vacation, they're not 100% there or something, or do
I
you
think
think
that's a
it's a
little bit of
tactical
it.
thing?
I think it's a little bit of that because a lot of the players talked, post game about the intensity. They don't feel they're playing as intense as they did last season. I think Lemon Yamal mentioned it, Flick mentioned it. I think Pedri spoke after the Vallecano game as well. So they were the ones that talked about that. I don't know how to describe it, but every time there's an attack, you feel that they're gonna get something on target. Like I don't think it's a high line issue because when our high line is in its position, they beat the press. Maybe against the Vallecano game is a bit different because you're thinking 1 minute there's VAR, 1 minute there's not. The players being told every second VAR is working, not working. Maybe that has a little bit of entail, but I don't even know, to be honest. I think they just look very, very sloppy. It looks like they haven't played football in a year, which again makes sense for coming in off the back of the break. But you've had a month of preseason. We had a good preseason in Asia. We beat Como 5-0, the Joan Gambert, an emphatic victory where we looked absolutely fantastic. Then when we start to lock in to start the season off, we look different. And that's the main concern for me. Hopefully, it's just a little bit of a purple patch. I think we're still in the early phases to label it as that. But I think these 3 games that come after the international break, we have Valencia, Newcastle away, then Getafe. Those 3 are going to be the deciding games to let us know: are we the same?
Yeah.
Are we going to improve? Or are we going to even go a step below?
Yeah, because I rewatched like some clips of the chances that, especially in the Rayo Vallecano game, when Easy was staying offside, so that when the ball went to right side, he was either there. I looked at that and complained at that, like tactically for Flick. But one thing, if you're going to play that high line, is the constant press. And all of the clips where long ball came is because their players were not pressed by especially your attackers in Ferra, Rafinha, and Yamal. So if it's like that, maybe they just have to play with more intensity and so on. Like I think that's what both Flick and Pedri said. Like they just need to up their intensity a bit. Because the Flick system, it's all about like a huge thing is the intensity. And if you don't do that intensity, it's going to be easier to find like holes in your team and so on. So I think Barca will come back better. But as you mentioned, Valencia, Getafe, and Newcastle away. Like, how do you feel about the Newcastle away? Especially when you've seen us. Like, I remember when we were there, they said, "Oh, St. James Park." I said, "Okay, I've gone to Velodrome Marseille. I've gone to Camp Nou. I've gone to Old Trafford, but it's a dirty stadium. It's a dirty stadium."
I think we're going to lose that game, and that's why I think this game is even more important for Barcelona because not only is it our first home game in the Champions League, it's going to be the game after we lose our first game or not win. And it's also going to be a big game as well where there is the storyline. I think the storyline for this game is going to have I think the storyline has more implication in the result of the match than the actual tactics and players on the pitch. We talked about it a lot last season. The record against us being exactly the same thing. 5 wins each, 4 draws, like same goals scored. Every stat is the exact same. So now it's about the team who's going to take that extra step. You've won a lot of the battles recently. We've won maybe the bigger battles during our clashes in the Champions League since the Qatari takeover in 2010, 2012. But I firmly believe, even when I saw that Newcastle game in the draw without knowing where we were going to play that game, I knew that game was going to be the one that was going to be the sacrificial lamb where we're going to, end up dropping points. In fact, this is the first game. It's crazy. Newcastle are not that great. Their team is kind of, inconsistent. They got signings in last second. They have injuries. But like you said, it's going to be the atmosphere. It's going to be, Barcelona coming down. It'll be the first time that I ever see Barcelona play Newcastle United, let alone play at their stadium. I, of course, know St. James Park from watching the Premier League and all this stuff. So, and of course, Barcelona's, record away from home is atrocious in the past 10 years. So I'm very confident we will not lose that. We will not win that game. That's why this game is going to be even more important. Because again, we're in a league phase. You want to come back like we did last season. We lost our first game against Monaco, then won the next 6 or 7, then drew on the last day against Atalanta. I think Barcelona going to be looking to do the same thing. And the next game after Newcastle is PSG, and then we have Chelsea after that. And then after that, we have our easy run: Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Frankfurt in there. So we have a tough start, then a okay middle and finish. So if we can at least capitalize and get some wins from that big start, which I think if we can win one of Newcastle or PSG, I think that's huge. Of course, if I can pick, I would pick PSG just for the footballing culture. I'll sacrifice the Newcastle game, but I think on paper, if you win one of those games, absolutely huge. But I don't think we'll get more than 4 points from 6
from the first 2. Wait, do you face Chelsea right after us, or do you have?
I think we have a game then Chelsea. I'm I can check. I think it's
'Cause
Club
that would be
Bruges.
tough. That would be insanely tough start.
Yeah, no, so it's Olympiacos, Club Bruges, then Chelsea.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned about Camp Nou because I've like been reading stuff here and there. I've heard that UEFA have approved for games to be played at the Camp Nou, but that what you're now 100% done with the stadium yet, or
I don't know, man. Everything with this goddamn stadium keeps changing. 1 minute is this, 1 minute is that. 1 minute we're playing in my backyard, then your backyard. I don't know. I think the club are trying to just get into the Camp Nou at some point. I think the positive is that right now I'm hearing everything but the Montjuic, because if you go to the Montjuic, you have to rent it for half the season, then you have to stay there. The club are trying to find like destinations here and there to kind of stopgap the first two games. But once that Champions League draw came out, I think all the Barca fans were saying that you have to be in the Camp Nou for the PSG game, or at least in a proper stadium. Being at the Johan Cruyff Stadium, 6,000 people for a PSG game is embarrassing. You can do the Montjuic, but the stadium just shows shit because the fans are so far away. I would rather have 25, 30,000 at the Camp Nou, nice, close, isolated in a good stadium, than the 40,000 the Montjuic all being spaced out all over the place. But I don't know. I really don't know. At this point, we're hearing that we're going to play our next game at the Johan Cruyff Stadium, which is kind of our B team stadium, and then after that, we can go to the Camp Nou for the Getafe game. But I think wherever we play at Getafe, which is the weekend before the Champions League game for you guys, then that's probably we'll probably play for that game. But the objective and the aim is to be back at the Camp Nou. It looks on the right track. Everything that we're hearing is on the right track. But with this club, you never know. Things can turn at the last second.
no? Because I remember you told me before that where you play your first Champions League group stage game, you have to play all the remaining games after that, right?
Apparently, UEFA are letting us slide. They're letting us play one game at a different state. I don't know. This is what I'm seeing now. I think that report came out yesterday that UEFA will let Barcelona play one of their home games, which is of course you're the first home game for us at a different stadium, as long as they play the next other games at the stadium. They call it like a force majeure, like a once in a lifetime situation. So that's why they don't let it slide. But I don't know. If we're not at the Camp Nou for the PSG game, I really don't care. It's like, what's the point? All right, just play the Montjuic for the rest of the season. Stop giving me false hope and dreams and stuff like that. We already announced it and then pulled out. Like the fact that what I hate the most that we deleted all the posts about that.
What, are you gonna return to Camp Nou?
Remember how we announced we're gonna return in August? I don't know if you saw or not. We announced we're gonna return in August, and then we couldn't. So they went back and they deleted all the posts. Like, we're coming back in August. Yeah.
Now I remember talking with you ahead of the El Clasico game because they were planning to have that game at the Camp Nou, right?
Mm-hmm. We were supposed to be back at the scheduled return for the Camp Nou was supposed to be beginning of last season. We're supposed to do one season at the Montjuic. We did 2 seasons at the Montjuic, and now we're looking at 2.5 seasons at this point. We've pulled every favor we can. We had the first 3 games away from home, which we did last season as well. I don't know. All these licenses this year. I feel like an accountant and an engineer at this point with all the stuff I'm hearing. But apparently all we're missing now is one license. Like, the stadium is ready. We can go and have a game tomorrow. Like, the grass is good, lighting is good, speaker, VAR, fans coming in and out, washrooms, all this stuff is good. But we're waiting for a specific license called the first occupant license, which we need to officially have games. Once we get that, we're good. But we haven't got that yet. That's the last step and the only step that we need now.
So if we don't play at a small size, like spectator Camp Nou, you said Johan Cruyff. That's what I've read as well.
Yeah, that's how Johan Cruyff.
As you said, maybe it's hard to play only one game there.
So Montjuic is available. I think they had like a concert recently, but that's it. Like, they're good. They're open. But what I feel like the club is doing, like, we don't want to spend money to rent it for like half a season, right? We can just kind of play here and there, 1-2 games here and there in our own stadium, and then move to the Camp Nou fully. I think if they knew that the Camp Nou would be ready until, let's say, next year, they're like, okay, let's rent it, because of course you'll make more money anyways. It'll be better for the fans and stuff like that, atmosphere. Because again, 6,000 at the Estadio Johan Cruyff, you're gonna make no money on match day. So stuff like that is where it comes into play. I think since we haven't rented the Montjuic, it is a bit of a positive, but at this point, it's like, how long are you gonna drag it for? Because a huge historic game like PSG, especially what it means, the 2 best teams in the world from last season, and very early on in the Champions League phase. I feel like all the big games are always in October. Like last season, it was for us Bayern Munich.
Time bar.
I
Yeah.
think for you at the time, you had Arsenal and Atletico in that month. So
Madrid,
that
Liverpool. I
yeah,
think so.
Madrid, Liverpool there as well. We had to watch along together. So it just either let us know or don't like give us false dream and false hopes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but has the stadium been postponed? Like, was it supposed to be 100% finished before, and people just didn't do their job, or
So the stadium
reported?
was supposed to be. We're supposed to return to the stadium's supposed to be 100% finished in June 2027. June 2026, so the end of this season, we're supposed to be back at the Camp Nou, barring just the roof. Like the stadium should be all good and nice.
Yeah.
Delays have come with construction workers, not from Barcelona's plans.
Okay.
Whether it be city permits not letting us work past 8 p.m. because people were complaining about the noise and the dirt and the dust. All these things played an effect. Even the Bernabeu, when they did the Bernabeu, it was delayed a few months. When the Athletic Madrid did their new stadium, it was delayed. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it was delayed as well. Everything is delayed. But with Barcelona, the issue is that it's been delayed longer than it's supposed to be, and fans are getting a bit upset.
Okay. Going into the game between PSG and Barca, what would you go in percentage without Dembele Doué? I know that Doué is uncertain. He could potentially play, could even start the game if he returns early. But
Mhm.
how big of a difference do you think it is facing a Dembele Doué led PSG and a Kvara Barcola led one instead?
Am I judging it based off last season or just based on current date?
I mean,
Because if we're
both.
talking about, huh?
I guess both, like a mixture.
Um, I think Dewey isn't a bit too big of a miss for you guys. I think of course Dembele is. I think Dewey you have suitable replacements from Barcola, Cavara. You can maybe put Gonzalo in there, Kangin Lee, who I do rate. I think of course Dembele is going to be a big miss. As of right now, I probably put the game. I would say 60% PSG and 40% Barcelona. I think the uncertainty of how we're playing to start off the season in regards to when we're going to play this game as well. We have a few injuries as well. Gavi being out injured, Frankie de Jong being injured, Lamine having some sort of a back pain, Alejandro Balde
Yeah.
injured as well. So it seems that every time we have a big UCL game, everyone wants to get injured, which we of course we saw last season against Inter too. Lewandowski is just coming back from an injury as well. So um, I think a lot of Barca fans just haven't been encouraged too much about how we start off the season. I think okay, it can change. We have I think 5 games before we play you. We have Valencia, Sociedad, Getafe, Newcastle, and then you, I believe. So that's 4 solid games. 3 of them being at home. Should be at home. So that can definitely change my perspective. I think that both teams at their peak is a 50-50. Even without Dembele, with for us without Balde and Gabby, who else? I think it's a 50-50 game.
Yeah.
But based on how you started off your season compared to we started off our season, those are the kind of signs. Again, in big games, forms a little bit go out the window, especially in the. I wouldn't call this a derby, but like I told you, the storyline is there, so everyone's gonna lock in. Rafinha has his story, Lamine, Dembele, Vitinha has his. Everyone has a storyline in this. So I think that will, of course, and of course, the build is going to be huge for this game as well from the media, and probably from us as well doing content, and that will get everyone fired up. So it's hard to say, but I definitely think that you are the favorites coming into it. Whether you want to say 1%, 2%, 5%, comes down to how you assess it.
But like even us, people said like we had the slowest start until we played our last game where we just slapped up Toulouse and Neves hat trick and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
How many games have you
yeah,
played so far? You played 3 as well, right?
yeah, and the UEFA Super Cup versus Spurs as well before that.
And
The
you have
thing
the
with
Club World
us
Cup.
is we've
You
only
should be
won one
more
nil.
like yeah.
Would you say we should only be?
I was gonna say that you're gonna be more fit as well because you've had like little to no breaks. You played the Club World Cup and you got all the way to the final pretty much. You played every single game possible. Then you had your
Yeah.
3-week break. Then you had Super Cup. You had I think you had one preseason game, right?
No,
You had no preseason game.
no.
Yes, you jumped right back into it, right? So you're gonna be a bit more sharp than we are, but hopefully with the international break, it will help us a little bit. Um,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
it's not good and bad because yes, we're sharper, but we also have more fatigue. For example, Dembele and Doué, both of them, PSG told France like do not play them. They played a lot. Dembele got injured in his recent game, and then they got injured. So that's one thing I'm scared about. we have a couple of games going into the Barca game, and I mean, Barcola and Kvara have to start every game. Our midfield, we can rotate a bit. We have more selection in the midfield, but the defense also will be starting every game. So for me, that's the only thing I slightly fear about. Maybe we'll do a Barca in relying on our youngsters. We have a bunch of like names I've never heard of in the squads, in the UCL squad as well. So maybe we can rely on them going into the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping as well that maybe the transfer window being over, no more sagas, everybody now registered, can be help a little bit as well. Of course, Flick talked about there being egos in the dressing room. We don't know exactly what he was hinting at. But hopefully all that clarification and also being, locking back into Barcelona will help us get back to form. I'm not saying that our first 3 games were poor and I'm worried and we're going to do shit, no trophies and all this stuff, but they've definitely been like, we kind of play like Xavi ball pretty much in a sense. Like, we've been playing like, it's kind of felt like that way where, you get over the line. Of course, we made a comeback against Levante, but doing a comeback every single time is not only annoying and hard on the heart for me, but also shows that why does the team need to go down 2 goals to make a comeback? Yeah. So
like relying a bit on individual brilliance, like that Pedri long shot, the Yamal.
That's how you get back into games. You know it. To go back, you need some sort of Fugazi penalty or a cracker from distance.
And Madrid, how do you look at them this season? Because I've said it's still a little bit of a question mark. I compare a bit Xavi to Xavi, where Madrid is going to be some kind of a project, which Madrid haven't been in a while. But I think they're at least going to be a little bit better than last season. How much better? I don't know. Like, how do you look at that?
I'm still hoping that Vinny and Kylian can get some beef and maybe cause some uproar. They haven't looked that encouraging. I think they had a better 3 games, easier opening 3 games than we have, and of course they get to play at home, and we haven't. They played 2 games at home, and we played 3 away. I don't think they've looked that great. I think what was the first game they had a penalty to win it. Second game they scored later on and struggled against a newly promoted side team that has not been in La Liga for God knows how long. And then in Mallorca they went 1-0 down again at home. So they haven't looked. I think they look better than us because we kind of just look really shaky and we play, of course, more risky football. But I don't think they've looked, super like, oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my God, they look actually really good. Like they're getting by and stuff like that, but they're going to be in an integration process too. So I think they'll have a good start, but then hopefully they'll get humbled once the crunch time of the season comes around.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that first El Clasico. It will also be in October, right? Will it be like straight after the PSG game?
No, it's after. So it's at the end of October.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I think so, yeah.
International break then as well.
I think it's going to be after the international break, yeah, because we play you early. I thought we were going to play you like end of October during that time.
The first.
Yeah, we play at the end. So we have you and then Sevilla, international break, and then that's when we have El Clasico. Okay. Because remember last season we played Sevilla, Munich, and then Real Madrid in that 1 week. Remember when we did so well? This time it's Girona, Olympiacos, Madrid. So we have Olympiacos in our Champions League midweek game. Let me actually see really quickly, just for conversation's sake, who Madrid have in that midweek, because they have Liverpool. We might have a bit of an advantage. They have Juventus at home, so they play Juventus and we play Olympiacos. So they'll have a bit of a tougher game. So maybe that can play a little bit in tail. But imagine they put us in El Clasico. Now we would have been. The storyline would have been insane. Oh, let's do what we did last year and all this stuff. And also, don't forget as well, what's a few days before our game?
What do you mean?
There's something big happening in football.
The Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. So when Dembele wins it, maybe that Lamine will be a bit, more fired up. Or if, Lamine pulls a, Rodri last second, Dembele will get the team fired up because he can't play. But, all these, storylines, crazy. Because I guarantee you, unless Lamine is like in the team of the year or something, he might not even go to the gala, right?
No, they don't do team of the year because they split. So it's FIFA. FIFA the best?
Yeah.
That Vinny one. It's they who do the best 11. This one, they do like best goalkeeper, best team, women Ballon d'Or, best women goalkeeper.
But I'm very interested to see whether or not, Lamine goes or not, or any Barca player for that matter. Because if he doesn't go, best believe he's gonna drop an IG post or story, and everyone's gonna, he'll change his profile picture on IG or something. Something will happen. But I think we will go. I don't know why they wouldn't go. I expect probably Lamine, Pedri, Rafa, Lewandowski to go to the ceremony.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're nominations. They will probably go. Plus, I
Okay.
think Yamal will win the Golden Boy, because the Golden Boy you can win it multiple times, but the Copa Trophy you can only win it once.
But isn't the Golden Boy for like Tutu Sport? It's not with
No, you're right. You're
France.
right.
Yeah, so that's like a
No,
later date.
oh, so maybe it's the Copa Trophy then,
The
right?
Copa Trophy you can't win one, so that's the one we're supposed to win it. So maybe Kubarsi will be there because he's a nominee. So we should have at least maybe 6-7 players going to the event.
Plus, yeah, you did. Your women's team didn't win it because usually the Ballon d'Or ceremony is like a Laporta Barca PR campaign because your women
Yeah.
wins it and they get everyone for a picture.
Aitana Bonmati is still a huge favorite to win the Ballon d'Or. We lost the Champions League. They lost the Champions League final, but they still won. The domestic treble. They were still the best team and the best player in the world. The one game was
But
just
didn't like Arsenal win the UCL?
yeah. So like
win the Euros. Isn't there like an Englishman for both teams?
yeah. But it's kind of like Holland in the year that Messi won the World Cup, right? Holland. Everyone's saying Holland should have won it, but Messi was by far the best player. On top of the fact he was historic in the World Cup. Same thing with the women. Bonmati, I thought she was the best player for the whole entire year, and she missed out one trophy. Whereas the other English one that you're talking about, I think her name is what's her name? Kelly, the one who was cringy as shit. I forget her name. Yeah, she was the one that won the Champions League and the Euro. So,
oh, okay.
We'll see, but
she's not rated.
She's not rated, but we'll see. I think that Barcelona should be still sweeping the women's awards.
Yeah.
I think we've won the last like 4 or 5 women Ballon d'Ors, anyways. So
yeah, it's like Petuelas, Bonmati.
Yeah,
Bonmati
2 for
twice?
Putellas. Yeah, no, 2 for
Putellas.
Putellas and 2 for Bonmati. Yeah.
Wait, she has to, or are you saying she's gonna win it this year?
No, they won 2. They've both won 2 each. The last 4 they've won. Yeah. The women's ceremony has just been Barcelona, celebrations the past 5 years. Yeah, seriously. So,
but I remember I saw reports that like they had to sell players, like so you guys could reach the 1-on-1 rule. Was that true?
I don't know, but if it's true, I mean, it better be because then the men's team comes first no matter what. I remember when we were in deep shit in COVID, we had to sell like basketball players. We had this big player in our team. His name is Mitrovic. He used to play in the NBA. For like the Bucks and the Bulls. We had to sell him because he's on big money and we needed some money for the first team. And in Barcelona and the ecosystem of Barcelona first team comes first. Everything else is funded and is existing because of what the first team does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's how
if it goes well for that one, they will invest more money into the other teams. If they don't do well, they will take money. No, because I saw a bunch of like women that support the female side complain about it. Like, oh, they can't fix their own stuff now.
Game's game, man. You gotta respect who brought us into this world. The women, they came because the men started it. So, and again, the women's game, there isn't much money in it. Hopefully, there is in the future, but as of right now, there isn't. So that's why you have to respect who brings in the check.
Because I saw even the last Women Euros, which was like huge by their standards, they still lost more money than they made from it.
Have you ever watched a women's game before?
No. And if I have, it's like if my mom, which is Sweden, because like she's nationalistic, and then I would sit there and say, yeah, this is my nation, but fuck up.
I will say this. I do watch the women's highlight when they have a big win or something like that just to see how the goals look. I think the only women's game I watched was, I think 2 years ago, they played the Camp Nou. They played like a semifinal against Wolfsburg at the Camp Nou. They filled the Camp Nou 96,000. I remember watching that game because that was a Champions League semifinal and stuff like that. But that's the only women's game I ever watched. Because, it's hard to go from watching men all the time to women. Because if you're just a woman and you only watch women, then it's cool. It's fine. But when you watch men football and women, the jump in difference is crazy. I'm sitting there watching things like I could be Putellas win this Ballon d'Or for the women if I could play. Or at least be like top 10 players in the world. So
it's like nobody goes and decides and watch the 5th tier of Spain. Sure, you can watch it, but what was the point in watching? You want to watch the best football available. That's like why I never understand like the hate. Oh, why don't you watch it? Because I don't think it's competitive. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's
I agree.
Well, I mean, they are improving. So maybe in 1,000 years we start watching.
But yeah, Ballon d'Or is gonna have, I think, a little bit of an impact on this game, especially it being the game. I think it's the game right after because the Ballon d'Or ceremony is on the Monday, if I'm not mistaken. and then this game is
No,
midweek on Wednesday,
if I
right?
remember the dates, we play on 1st of October. The ceremony is 22nd of September.
So maybe we have like a weekend game and then the game. That means
26. It is a Monday. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We
okay,
play the Wednesday after that.
okay. Sounds good.
I don't know. With Dembele not playing, I don't know.
No, but still,
Stay
Lemi's
away
gonna
from him,
be there.
man.
He'll post something on IG. You'll get upset, and then everyone's gonna. It's gonna be a whole thing.
No, but no. My thing was the Dembele wins the Ballon d'Or. Yamal gets mad, wants to prove himself in the game, and then Du is like, "Nah, I'm gonna prove myself," because he's been so bad since the UCL final. And then,
Mhm.
but the thing is, Du is uncertain, so I don't know. I don't know if he will play the game.
He's out for 4 weeks, so he'll probably maybe be on the bench for the game. I would say. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
start. It'll be too tight unless his recovery goes really, really well. And like I said, I don't think Dewey is a big loss for you. I think if I'm Luis Enrique and I have a Dewey coming off the back of an injury, I would still go with either Barcola or Cavada or anyone else that you have over him. Not only risk him, but I don't think he won't have like that super grave an impact. It's not like it's Dembele or Messi coming back from an injury, right? It's more of
I'm
like maybe it compares to you. It's kind of like Fabian Ruiz coming back into your midfield. He's not a João Neves. He's not a Vitinha. Still an important player, an impactful player, but you can live without him.
I can say so recently. Like I think he's only had one GA since the UCL final, which was in the quarterfinal versus Bayern München. But he's not been in good form. But I wanted to do it for that game. Obviously, I wanted it. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to do this beef with Yamal ever since they asked him who's better. So obviously, I wanted to do it to be on that stage alongside, and just in a big game overall, and open up the game. You mentioned Barcola. I like Barcola a lot. The issue with Barcola is the impact in big games. The only big thing you remember from him last season, us winning the UCL, it was the nutmeg on Nunes that led to the Demboo's tapper versus City. Apart from that,
Mm-hmm.
like Barcola was like very unimpactful. Thing is, he's gonna play Barca, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe because of how you play high line, maybe he will be extra confident in how he play. Like imagine when Barcola looks at Araujo. Like I'm waiting. Would you start Araujo? I know that Flick has been he's been tricking around with Christensen and
Yeah.
Eric Garcia as well.
I think our best center back fully fit in the entire team, all in their prime, is Christensen. I've been saying it all summer. I think our best center back partnership is Christensen and Kubarsi. Maybe Kubarsi off the right, Christensen off the left. Christensen, no problem with him. This guy cannot stay fit. He's fit for Denmark, no problem. Comes to Barcelona, he'll play 190 minutes. Oh, I have a back discomfort. I can't play the next game. And you can't rely again. Well, with winning teams. The center back in the defense is consistent. Look at your team last season: Bacho
Yeah.
Marquinhos. No one else ever rarely came in. Same with us: Kobarsi, Inigo. So you have to have consistency in your center back partnership, and Christian just doesn't provide that. So that's why we're seeing Eric Garcia being put in there, trying him out, Arujo as well. I don't think Arujo's put a foot wrong. You just know that he has a mistake in him, and he does some unintelligent shit that doesn't give you too much confidence. So I mean, I was screaming, praying for any sort of defender signing this summer is what we needed. We need a left winger defender signing. We got a mid left winger, and we got a goalkeeper, which of course was fantastic. And we kind of just got that kind of a market opportunity. But the defense needed a reinforcement. Whether it be a fullback, then you move because we have two center backs playing at right back. So whether you bring in a right back, move those center backs to center back, have Kunde as an option in the middle. Something was needed in defense, and we didn't do it. And I think that will come to cost us. But it's now up to Flip to figure out what his best center back partnership is. He went with Kobarsi and Arujo to start, especially in preseason and the first two games. Hasn't gone the greatest, and now he's changing it up. I think the most clear thing that he's realized that Kobarsi has to play on the right side of the center back partnership. He played on the left-hand side to compensate, but he's very uncomfortable off the left. So that's why I think that Christensen off the left, he's very comfortable. He used to play there a lot when Arujo was in the team with Xavi, when we had back in that double season. So I think that would be the move going forward, but just really down to Christian being fit and, of course, Flick giving him that trust. But right now, it's just Kubarsi plus someone else, and we don't know who that someone else is. And Kubarsi is having a little bit of mistakes in him, too, so he's not looking too comfortable himself. I think he had a very poor mistake for the Levante goal, the first one, if you remember it.
Oh, when he got sent. Yeah, I know. Like, I felt Inigo Kobarsi was really good. Like when you're coming up as a youngster playing as a centre back, it's very good having like a an old veteran next to you in Inigo, and now,
Mhm.
I mean, I would probably say Kubarsi is more experienced than both Christensen and Araujo. Kubarsi
Mhm.
played the UCL semi-final game. Neither of them have. Maybe Christensen during the Fugazi Chelsea run, but that don't count. So, like, was it a money problem? Because when I saw like Fermin linked away to the Premier League, I was like, sell and buy a centre back, buy
For
Schlotter,
Inigo?
Becker, someone. No, Fermin. I know you like
Um,
want to keep him for the depth and Fermin from the academy and everything, but no.
I think for Firmino, if a good offer came in, the club would have accepted it. I think 40 million is embarrassing. It's like me coming to you and say, "Hey, here's 60 million for Vitinha." You're gonna throw that money back in my face. You're gonna ask for at least from us, especially a rival, 150 million. I think 40 million for Firmino is embarrassing. I think Firmino's a fantastic player. I think he has a bright future at Barcelona, but with him being kind of second option behind Dani Elmo, there is a price. I'd say his value right now is 70. For a player that has 3 years left in his contract, starting player for Barcelona who's gotten double figures in both goals and assists the past 2 seasons on a consistent basis. We're about to have fantastic depth, and look at us. We've had 3 midfield injuries already this season. So the price had to be right. I think the price was right. He was already kind of getting tempted by the offer, looked like it. And Barcelona were saying, hey, if you say you want to leave, we'll sell you, no problem. But the offer just was unsuitable whatsoever.
They came no better bid than 40. That was the
No.
best Chelsea made.
Chelsea made 40, then never came back in for him because he didn't say to Chelsea, yes, I'll do whatever I can to force a move. I think Fermin also said no to Chelsea on top of their bid, not being great. But if the right offer came in, I'm positive that Barcelona would have accepted it. And the entire fan base, I know you're on Twitter. If you see everyone saying it, hey, if we give us 70, we'll 70 to 80, we can accept that. When you have random shit players going for like 40, Harvey Elliott got sold for 45 million. You're telling me he's better than Fermin Lopez? Let's be real. I know the English market, is inflated and English tax, but come on.
Yeah, no, especially from Chelsea. Like, that's the club that usually does not undercut. I mean, they bought Gittins for 55, I think. So they should have expected Furman to be higher than that.
Yeah.
Even though it's, slightly less than a month left. Just numbers, 2 numbers. Give me that score line. Just the early, just to get it out of the way.
1-1. I lied. 2-2. 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
So
I think PSG go 2-0 up, and then we come back to 2-2.
So I had 3-2 because I made
That's
like a big prediction video over all the teams. But with them Boos and Due, just to join you, I'm a humble myself. I'm gonna take it 2-2.
Do you think that will have a big of an impact missing both? Of course, Dembele will, but
I don't know. I just wanted Desiree Due for that game, and then Desiree Due alongside Khvicha, they're like the big game players. Like they're the ones that can give us big moments in big games. Barcola is just, it's hard to trust in him. In Liga, he give us the biggest moments there are. But in the UCL, I trust Due more. Like Due can have a mid game or a bad game, but then he can have that game like the UCL final or when he came on versus Liverpool. Like he can still be impactful off the bench. So yeah, I should say more than Dembele. And then the other thing is the best player to play in Dembu's false 9 position was Due. Like when Dembele has missed games, Luis Enrique puts Due in that false 9. So it's gonna be like Gonzalo.
No, I don't think so. I think
Maybe
it's gonna
Kang.
be I think it's gonna be Kang.
I think Kang false 9 or like Kang on the wing.
I think Kang
Could
on
try
false.
Khvicha as a false 9, Barcola
No.
striker.
I think he'll do Kang in the false 9, then Bar.
I'm looking maybe. No. Yeah. Let's not face check the opponent. It's very scary. You need to somehow get both way. Yeah, I can look to ultimate.
Did I leg go or was it you?
The ultimate.
I think from my point of view, it was you. Because I saw the 4 dots go away. But it's this side sometimes.
Here, switch me, then just keep going.
What were we saying?
We're talking about who was going to play for Dembele.
Yeah, can't get Leon.
Can you switch me back?
Yeah, I think we can look now.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, it's early on. We have a lot of big games coming up in the UCL as well, like a really tight schedule as well. And Dembele is out for a while. Like he might even potentially miss the third UCL game. But as long as we beat Atalanta in the first game, hopefully a little bit of a stat pad session at the back, we'll see what happens. That's how I feel about this Camp Nou game. You know, if it was a knockout game, you would sit there, no, Barca gonna win. Yamal's gonna. I would say, no, the Boo's where you saying that we're gonna win. But because it's a group stage game,
You're
in
like,
this
yeah,
new
whatever
format
happens.
as well. Like if it wasn't the usual format, this would be like one of the deciding games if you're gonna finish first or us first. But now, like I know that none of us are gonna get relegated. We're both gonna make it. Like, do you think?
And if
we're
it's
gonna
in the
make top
regular
eight?
group stage game, we play this game twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you think you're gonna make top 8?
Yeah, probably. I don't think anyone nowadays wants that extra qualifying game. So I think we will finish top 8. I actually don't think we'll finish like top 4 like we did last season. I think last season we finished second, right? I actually don't think us or Liverpool will finish first. I think it'll be some sort of like random team like an Inter or like an Arsenal or like maybe an Real Madrid. I think it'll be something like nobody will see coming. I don't think it'll be us, PSG, or Liverpool. I think it'll be something.
Okay.
I think we'll still come all top 8. Maybe not you because you're kind of you did it last season. I think you'll be. And you have a difficult run too. So I could see you, just because of the amount of games, not because of your quality, obviously.
No, I just don't want it again, man. It was
No, you won't. You won't get 25th like you did last year, but maybe like a 10th, 12th kind of thing. Like very, very high in that qualifying area.
No, that's where the Atalanta game for me is so important. It's how we start off. I mean, we played Girona at the back, and it was ass. Like it's like you knew it was not gonna look good. So if we do it versus Atalanta, but I predicted in my prediction video, I think 22 out of 24 points. I stayed humbled and
that's humble 22-24. Wow.
I took a
With
draw
that
versus
draw?
Sporting. I took a draw versus Sporting.
You put Barca
away.
in? Okay.
Yeah, because it was the Sporting is the first game back after January. So I was like, let me take a draw here. Because I'm very bad when it comes.
What are your tough away games? You have I know you have
With
Spurs.
Bilbao.
So you have some MS, okay.
Spurs at the back. We play Bilbao away, you guys away, Leverkusen away.
A lot of your hard games are
Sporting away. Well.
at home.
Sporting, Bilbao, Leverkusen, and Bilbao.
It's your Barca away, Leverkusen away, Bayern, Tottenham at home, Athletic Club away, Sporting away, and then Newcastle at home too. So yeah, you have a lot of I think the only tough team on paper you have is Barca away. I think some MS is hard for us, but you should be fine. We kind of just overrated.
It's not the same in European football as well. I think going there in La Liga is tough in Europe. I mean, United beat them like 3-0 or something. That was embarrassing, man. With the final in their stadium and everything. But I don't know. I just want us to do it differently because it wasn't just last season. The season before, if you remember when we had Dortmund, Newcastle, Milan, we went through last match day on goal difference. So I want us to do something different this year. I want us to feel comfortable. I don't want to hear people say, I don't want to hear you say, I think you could get grouped.
No, you won't get you won't get grouped.
I remember last season when we were on.
Yeah, because you guys look shit in like September, October, November. It's not like the PSG of now, where now you have a system, you have a style, you have an identity, which was found, in end of November, December time. But I think top 8 will be. I think if you get top 8, that's really, really good, especially with that kind of group
draw.
With your draw, yeah. But if I was to place a bet, I would say like you'd come like 8 to 12. Just because I'm a risk taker. Yeah.
All right, and let's end it with the UCL power ranking. So not current form or last 3 games. Who's going to win the Champions League? 1 to 5 this year. Because I just want to know the group of teams, and I want to know if you're as anti-Premier League as I am.
I'd probably be boring and just say Barcelona, Real Madrid, Paris Saint Germain, Liverpool. I don't think Arsenal, but I'll say Arsenal. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. So those would be my 5.
Okay, so only one Liverpool. Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
exact same 5 as well.
Yeah.
No, like Arsenal, I can call them a dark horse. Arsenal has become a dark horse.
There's always gonna be that one team that gets really far that no one expects. Like last season, it was Arsenal. Before that, it was Dortmund because they got to you guys. There's always that one team that kind of makes its way through. But I think the only thing for certain, I wouldn't say certain. I don't think you will win it. Only because not denying your quality, only because it's so hard to defend it. Because everyone's gonna be coming out to get you. I think Madrid did it because they had referees in their back pocket. They had the black magic of Zidane's, and that's why they did it. But in the modern era, it's never been done for that reason. So I think even like us with MSN, I thought easily we were gonna do back to back, and we lost that tight game to Atletico. Why? Because everyone's gonna be eyeing you, going after you. So
Yeah.
if you do it, then fuck me, you're an incredible team. But again, draws and stuff like that will have implications. We had an easier side and got knocked out. You had a harder side and went on to win it. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. But I would love for us to win it. I don't think we're gonna win it. And
No. Like, come on, Mike. Look, I have the back. Barca, you're exactly the same boat I was in last year. Because the season before, we won everything domestically, domestic treble, and we reached UCL semi. And now it's Flick 2.0.
But you didn't have 11 years of what I've had, Yes, I had.
Well, I've
there.
had 54 years. 54
No,
years.
but that's different. You're not Barcelona. It's different. I am saying that we won't win it to also lower my expectations. So that way, when we don't win it, I'm not that disappointed. But especially with this, how we started off the season, I see no signs of encouragement. I know the team going like this since we got Inter Champions League, even before the draw, preseason Champions League. Is what we do every year. Until I see actual encouragement, and then I'll tell you this: the last 2 times where I thought we were going to win the Champions League was when Messi scored the free kick against Liverpool, and when Rafinha scored against Inter to make it 3-2. Those are the 2 times I thought, oh my god, we are actually going to win this Champions League, and we failed both times. The only time I went into a season thinking, yes, we're going to win the Champions League is the one with MSN after we won the treble. I went in like, yeah, we're going to win. There's who's going to beat us. We're so good. And we end up losing in a tight game to Atletico Madrid. So I think I will see us win the Champions League again. I just don't know when it's going to be. I think now is a possible time. I think we're definitely of the quality, of the level, and can win it. I think Lamine Yamal, I know you hate Lamine Yamal, but he said this really great quote from last season after we lost to Inter. He said last season when Madrid lost to Arsenal 3-0, everyone was saying, come back. 90 minutes at the Bernabeu, long time, blah, 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 blah. Everyone thought they were going to win it. Why? Because of their heritage, of their ability that they can win it. When we drew to Inter, everyone's like, oh, we're out. Because we're, what we've done over the past 10 years, we have no encouragement in ourselves. That's what needs to change for Barcelona. The mentality and the belief to win. The fans don't have that, especially if we have a hard draw. Unless we have a really easy draw. Like, look at us against Dortmund. We beat them 4-0, then almost choked it in the second leg. The second leg away from home every time ends up fucking killing us. Then when we have the second leg at home against you guys, you come and you dunk on us 4-1 at the Montjuic. So it's like, which way helps us better? Easier team, hard team, second leg away, first leg away. We kind of lost in every single combination now. So it's just about finding the one that, sucks to us. But I think it really comes down to the team up here. This team has had victories. They've had big losses, so they should know how to handle it at this point.
But I would say for Barca like that before Flick came in, like you didn't have the recent relevant UCL heritage coming back in games and so on. But last season, you were that team. I remember y'all versus Benfica getting that comeback goal. When Rafinha scored versus Inter. When Kunde scored in the Supercopa de España. When you beat Madrid 4 times. I always said Barca are different mentality. Even this season, when you came back versus Levante 3-2. So I definitely think Flick has installed that mentality, and you have that mentality to go and win it.
We have it, but in the big moment, the biggest moment, we never show it.
You scored the winner versus Inter.
But then we choked it 10 seconds later. So it means nothing. I don't doubt us in Spain. We've had some great and huge wins against Madrid in our worst time, and in our worst time, Madrid never dominated Spain like we dominated Spain in their worst time, which I very much applaud the players for. But in the biggest moment, Champions League night, world is watching, because the world ain't watching El Clasico that much. They do watch it now because Lamine is making some beef and gaining some traction. He's selling El Clasico very well alongside Vinny, Action, and Bellingham and stuff like that. But you need to have it up here in the big moments. And this team has failed a lot and have not succeeded a lot at that moment. So I think the kind of silver lining a little bit that I'm hanging on to is that I know that once this team gets there, they want to stay there and they can really, compete. But it's just about getting there. It's like, what's an example? I can't really think of an example right now, but it's like when you fail 1,000 times and you win it at the end. Okay, here's an example. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio, the actor. So he never won an Oscar, right? He won an Oscar like in his last year of acting. We won the Oscar. Everyone's like, oh, he finally has his Oscar. Whoa, woohoo. All the memes are dead. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for our Oscar. We're waiting to finally just do it once. Everyone can leave us alone. Then we can go back to normal. So that's what we need.
Would you say it's like a 5-year period? If you don't win the UCL, you're not treated as like part of that elite?
I think we're part of the elite no matter what because we still compete. We dominate our league. We face a team that predominantly does well in Europe, and we dunk on them a lot. So our reputation will still be very high. We are in a fantastic city with great weather and have money to pay players. And, of course, the history is there. But I do think, like, if we go another 10 years without winning a Champions League, our stock might go down a little bit, especially with the new generation of, players coming through and fans and stuff like that. I've never maybe seen Barcelona win a Champions League and just go off base of stories. But look at Ajax now, for example. Look at AC Milan. I don't think we'll get to that point ever. But look at United, for example. Dibu was almost going to join United. Why? Because it's just a big club. The Aston Villa have been better than United over the past few years, but he's going to leave them to join United because United is just a big name. He remembers back in the day, this, that, and the other. And we're still in that phase. I don't think that will ever die down because we still have historic moments right now.
Like, to prop Barca here, I think actually the biggest thing for United is the money. Like, for example, Mbuemo, he went from Brentford to United. Brentford finished like 7th, 8th. United finished 17th. But Mbuemo's wage got like 5 times. So
yeah, we attract players that don't have to do that.
Give Barca, exactly. You don't even have to give that high of wages. Actually, the opposite. If they choose you, it's not because of money. It's just because of playing for Barca then.
Yeah, but we just need a Champions League, man. I've had enough of this. We're becoming like Arsenal a little bit for the Champions League, where it's just like we're waiting for Arsenal to win a trophy. We're waiting for Barcelona to win a Champions League at this point. Like, it's every year, some way, somehow we end up. Is it like we don't even lose fairly? We just lose in a terrible way every single time. I think the last time we lost fairly was against Atletico Madrid. Yes, we should have had a penalty last second, but over the course of then 180 minutes, really, really tight game. 2 fantastic teams. Maybe us having a second leg away at Atletico Madrid helped them a little bit. I mean, over the course of the 2 games, very, very tight. But after that, we just balled it every single time. Juventus, PSG, Rome, Anfield, Munich, PSG again, Inter last season. They're all capitulations. We were at an advantage point. We were at a higher point, then lost it in the worst possible way. Like, we were up 4-2 against you 2 years ago. And then 1 red card, we're done. We were up. We were winning. We were in the Champions League final with 3 minutes to go. Lost it. That's what we need to change. That's what needs to improve.
But you said like 15, 16, you believed like you can go and win the UCL.
That was the last time at the start of the season I said that I'll say it with my chest that Barcelona will win the Champions League easily.
But would you say your confidence going into this season is high? It's been since that season? Because even last season, because you didn't know Flick.
Yeah, you're right. I guess so, yes, but I still wouldn't say it right now with chess we're going to win the Champions League. Then I would have said it. I would say right now we're a solid top 5 contender. Apart from, the last years when we had Messi, we were never like a top 5. Maybe in like the Rome Anfield time, we're maybe top 3-ish. But I wouldn't say right now to you, we're going to win the Champions League easily. I'll bet the house on it. Nobody can stop us. That's how I felt in the 15-16 season. Maybe that's how you feel now coming in as champions. Like, who's going to beat us? We beat everybody. We beat Madrid. We beat Bayern, we beat Athletic Madrid, and we beat them all like 4 or 5-0. You know.
Now, yes, I am very confident, obviously, but what Chelsea did still hurts a little bit of trauma here. But my biggest thing is I want this to be a dynasty and a legacy. We reached the UCL semi before. We will reach the Club World Cup final this year. So we've already shown that we always go deep in these tournaments. So just go deep again. Going back to back would be beautiful because we would become the second club to do that after Real Madrid.
First, let's be honest, theirs doesn't really count. The first actual club.
Just get that legitimacy because we've seen Bayern win in 2020, then they went away. Chelsea won in 2021, went away. City won in 2022, went away. If we win it again, that will put us closer to the two best teams of my recent time, the Madrid three-peat and the Pep Barca team. I want to be as close as that, if not even compete to be better than that.
Especially the way that you're handling teams.
I saw people compare us to City and stuff. Like, respect.
I think maybe you're there right now, but if you do it again this season, you go to this, it's tough group stage draw. You beat everyone, 3-0, 4-0 comfortably. Like, I was surprised in the Club World Cup. You're there, like, thumping on Atletico, thumping on Real. I love the Real one. Thank you for that. Who'd you have? I think you had, like, who'd you have in the round 16? That was another... Miami, yes. Yeah, you had Miami. You had Miami, right? You beat them, like, 4 or 5-0 as well. So... Yeah. You're telling me too. Even like peak Barcelona didn't do that. Yes, we beat teams comfortably, like 2-0, 3-0, like that. But we're not beating teams like 5-0 and 6-0 and 4-0 like you are. So definitely, if you do a season like that again, you'd be amongst one of the greatest teams to ever play the game.
But I want us to go back to back. But my expectations, like when it comes to critiquing at the end of the season, is at least semi. I think if you're a huge club. And you're really great at football, you should always aim for that. At least semi. And then after that, we can see the context, how we feel about it. So is it for you the same? At least semi?
I agree too. Yeah, for sure. Because last season was our first semifinal in like 6-7 years. So I would say definitely minimum this season is semifinal for sure. Alongside other trophies.
All right then. Barca boy, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
That's been it. Pleasure as always. That's been it. We will do one more. There will be a video obviously on his channel. I will leave in the link down below. Either it has been posted or will be posted after this video is posted. I don't know entirely. And we will have we'll have a preview 100%. Either maybe one on his channel or we'll do both on both channels like this time. A few days before the upcoming mouth-watering game between Paris Saint Germain and FC Barcelona. That's been it from my boy PSG and Barca boy. And as usual, allez, Paris.